Oh, I need to turn myself on. Derp. Now I'm way up there in the corner. Here we go. It's like I've never done this before. Sorry about all that. Welcome to Peace Pat Paints. I'm Pat. I mess up things on the internet. No, we make things. We make artsy things here. Started out mostly just miniatures and stuff like that, but as I changed and grew and all that, now we just do whatever I feel like doing. Right now, I feel like drawing this silly comic idea that that I came up with. It's kind of fun. Anyway, if you like that sort of thing, give us a like and a subscribe. It's kind of cool. We're at like, I don't know, 460 something. I hear when you get to like 500 is when YouTube finally starts to like pay attention to what you're doing. That's cool. That's really neat. I never thought I'd ever be a YouTuber, or I guess, is this a podcast? I don't think this is a podcast, right? Like, this is I don't know what that all means, honestly. Anyway, so we're here, we hang out, I draw things, or I paint things, or I sculpt things, or whatever, and then you guys watch it, and you tell me what you think about it. Hopefully you like it. If you don't like it, you can say that, but I don't care. It's just how I live my life. I'll tell you what, I learned a long time ago that life is like so much better when you just stop caring what other people seem to think about whatever it is that they think that they want to tell you. Because golly, everybody thinks that you need and want their opinion. I don't know why. You can ask me. I can't give you an answer as to why it's like that. I just know that's just how it goes. So anyway, I don't even know if anybody's watching this. That's the part about this. I kind of run without a net. There used to be a way where you could like see how many people were watching and all that. I turned all that off. I find like it's better if I just go and I don't pay attention to that sort of thing. Everybody's. Anyway, so comic books are fun. I did this a lot more when I was younger. I actually haven't done anything like this drawing wise in like a long time. I haven't done anything this involved drawing wise in a while. So for those of you who watched the last episode, we were working on these thumbnails. Now we've gotten it there now. We've gotten everything kind of set up. I think I might have changed a little bit of this in my other rundown. I also have I put together a setup on, what is this silly thing called? Canva? Canva. This is a great program, by the way. If you don't have Canva, it's useful for all sorts of stuff. Yeah. So, on Canva, I took all my inspiration pieces and I put them in order to kind of use to help me kind of draw what I'm doing there, right? Um, and I may have changed them a little bit here, and some of them there's no photo for it. I'm just gonna draw. I mean, I might take some pictures of my cats when we get down there, but that's like down here. We'll talk about that in a second. So when you put together your comic idea, you get kind of your idea together, right? You say, okay, well, this is kind of the story I want to tell. You say, okay, well, these, and you draw out your different cells. Boom, 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 boom. And we're telling our little story here. The thing you got to remember is how things work, right? So, a little schmitzy on there. I don't even know what that is. Something sticky. It's probably some of the Irish cream filling from the brownie that Kristen made. It was so tasty. Golly, it was delicious. I'm thinking about that brownie again now. So anyway, you draw out what you think you want and you kind of get your story idea together, and then you start putting together some base sketches for the idea, and then we're going to go to the actual like finished drawings, and then we'll do so we'll have like master drawings, and then I kind of think if I can figure out how to get us a light board or make a light board, maybe we'll light board some stuff to do some inking, and really go like all the way through all the process. There's lots of steps to this, and you kind of have to think it all out. That's why you plan this, so that you know kind of like which one to do. So you have your cover, because none of this contains a cover. So the cover would have come off. This would be the first page. And the first page is this, followed by the next page. When you'd open it up, it would be this page, then this page, right? Because that is the front page of that page. This is the back of that, right? So boom, boom. So this is the front page, and that's the back. So it's a boom, boom. All right, and then we get to our spread. So this is the middle of the comic, right? So it opens up and it shows the middle, and then we have, the next series of folds, and then there's the very end. So we're gonna get to where they chase off the sub, and then you find out it's actually the cats, and it'll be funny. Cats, people like cats, right? So anyway, I did the first sketch. I got the first one this is just kind of an idea, a basic concept sketch, just to kind of get started on what I wanted to do. And then I move on to this one here that we're working on currently. So for those of you who don't work with perspective is super, super important. Right now we're kind of working with a 1-point perspective. And the reason I want to work with a 1-point perspective with this particular piece here is we're looking down the submarine, right? So we're walking, and a submarine's like a big tube, So a 1-point perspective works great in a lot of these, so it should be super easy to get a lot of this drawn up because of that 1-point perspective. Just make it a little bit easier on us, which is fun, especially and it's good to do that, especially when we're really kind of restarting all of our drawing skills and getting back on track with a bit more in-depth drawing pieces and stuff like that. A little different. And I got there's some little boxes. I don't know what these do. I don't care. It doesn't really matter. None of this actually. That's the fun thing I think about drawing, like say a comic or something like that, sci-fi and stuff, is that, or even fantasy really, is it doesn't really have to. It kind of has to make sense that it's there, but it doesn't really have to technically do anything. Like, you don't want to draw something that doesn't make sense, but like it's a submarine. There's tons of valves and cranks and knobs and lights and all sorts of doodads and doohickeys. So you can draw all sorts of things in there and really make it look great. Now, I do have some reference photos that I'm working with. And it's good to, especially when you're first starting out, really get some ideas, some reference photos. Because in this one we want to have, and you might not be able to see because of the light, but in this one you can see we've got some people we're trying to get in. There's the little knobs. We're trying to get some people in here. Okay, so I want to kind of set a scene up. So block out. We're gonna block out some people. We got one guy's shoulder here. See, and then there's like a bank of instruments here. Get a quick sketch out of that. Here, and then it puts this guy's head right here in the middle, which is great. A little offset, but mostly in the middle. Like I said, just kind of, right now I'm trying to get a little bit of a bearing on what's going on. So we've got a hand that's right here, and then there's some sort of bulkhead, and that's what's fun here, is I'm trying to grab that perspective, trying to figure out where's my foreground, where's my background, what are we really looking at here? How big does this really need to be? So this seems to be a little bit bigger. He may need to come up. He may need to be a little bit taller. He may need to be a shot caller. I definitely want to make that a little bigger. Good thing about working with quick sketches is we're definitely not locked in to stone. We don't have a set thing we're doing here. Let me make this instrument now maybe. If I tighten that up a little bit, I'm going to bring this, whatever this piece is, I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. See, and all these lines were all there to help get all that drawn in, so we can start removing some of that stuff. Like I said, we want to bring this guy up just a little bit, sure, no problem. And that's the great thing about working in pencil. Again, we want to remember though where our point was, where our horizon line piece is, right? So horizon line there, point there. I can make him just a little bit taller. Actually, his head kind of goes up into that round thing. There this is, and it actually looks pretty big, honestly. Better than I'm drawing it there, so it needs to be about that size, really. It's got to come almost all the way down to his neck. And this is what I'm talking about. You really got to work your perspective in. Because sometimes you think you're right, and then you start messing with it a little bit more, and you're like, wait a minute, that's not right, that's not right. Sometimes you've got to draw in the whole perspective, all your little bits to get your idea. And it looks like the oh golly, we need to do a stock check, because the president of the United States again has called out the chairman of the Federal Reserve, which is an independent body, and that's usually not good. Although in this case, it seems to have made some of the market go crazy. I don't know. I think sometimes he says stuff just to get people riled up, so that he can, I don't know, do something. I don't know. It doesn't make much sense to me. Somebody better than I understands what all of these people have to say, but it isn't me. I mean, I guess I kind of get some of it, but it's ridiculous. Anyway, had a quick check on the stocks. Everything's going up, even though he's running his mouth, which has been pretty typical for the stock market lately. I don't know, it's weird. Usually when you go threatening the head of the Federal Reserve, that's usually not a good thing. But whatever. Alright, so we're back to drawing these heads. Alright, so we got the head, we put a neck on him. He's looking that way. We can take out that reference line. And again, these are all just kind of reference lines. We're really trying to just block in where and what we want everything to look like. Hand is going to be right here. And use your rods and cones and your bits. It's really important to think of things more like rods and cones and stuff. You know, like you've got a round piece here, and you've got a rod here, and you've got a cone there. You know, and that's kind of how when they first start teaching you how to draw people and objects, that's what they teach you. I kind of if you're using a reference, it's a little easier. I'm kind of using some references, so I don't need quite as much of that. But if you want to design, when we get down to designing our own like looks, we'll use a little bit more of that kind of an idea right now. Okay, looks like there's a bulkhead right here, which would follow. There's probably one right here. We got another guy standing right here. His head is right there. Like I said, don't be afraid to just draw through these. Again, like I said it before, these are kind of reference lines here, right? See, we got a couple people sitting in here listening and talking. This is somebody's shoulder here. We'll come back and clean these up later. This guy's arm is back. The neck looks a little weird. That guy's head needs to be a little bit forward. Hey, it's Sir McBeardsly. Are you, sir? See ya. This guy's chin needs to be right here. His head. And this is where it gets a little tricky, because this guy's head got to be bigger than this guy's head. And these two guys' heads are going to be about the same size. There's going to be another guy over here whose head's going to be like a third size, because you're your perspective, right? Because you know, the further I go away from you, the smaller my head looks, and the closer I get to you, the bigger my head looks, right? So it's, you know, perspective. Like right now, you're technically looking at a 140 perspective. That's what's, we can do. This is fun. Let's do this. Ah, what'd I do? Everything went blank. Hit the wrong button. I'm terrible at the, it's like a 1 point perspective is literally what you're looking at right now. Because you're looking through this camera right here. So when you're looking down the 1 point perspective, you can measure everything from like the single point that you're looking at, right? So there's a horizon, and everything else kind of is above and below the horizon, right? And so that's what we're trying to do. Doing all right. Doing all right. Tired, busy, all the good stuff. Yeah, sounds like life is doing the life thing over for our very popular, very famous moderator, Sir McBeardsly. I hear it's fashionable to just say things, whether it's true or not. So I'm just going with that now. I like that idea. We're just gonna say whatever we want now. So this needs to be maybe made beef and barley. Yeah, oh yeah, man. Crab legs. Good lord. Yeah, you're on a tear. Oh, joint birthday. Yeah. That would be a good reason to be on a tear. So again, now, as our perspective goes, we're going to want to keep an eye on things, right? So, probably need a bulkhead here, just to make sure everything's on. We're in a submarine, right? So we got the walls. This will make this maybe a little closer. We can actually, you can do that all the way down. You can start bringing in. You see how putting those ribs in. We may put those bulkheads in like that, right? You can see how by drawing in these extra, say ribs or whatever in the submarine, we can start really filling out what we want it to look like, right? We know whatever this is some sort of other component. Just running through this guy's head. We'll pull out a lot of that. So we get our references in. Trusty coffee. Do 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 do. This one actually needs to be a little closer, so we need this one to come over here. So we're actually going to get to see most of this one. It needs to be about the same size as that, so a little adjusting. Where'd it go? Oh, I'll fall out of my chair. Oh. Okay. Do. Bottom. Okay. So that's where it's gonna. That's the top of this curve. The bottom is down here. Hey, it's good to see you, Georgianne. How are you? Drawing perfect circles is, but freehand is always a little bit of a task. Maybe something I should endeavor to buy I guess a compass. I have one actually. I don't know why I'm not using it. Just being weird, I suppose. It's more fun, I guess, to draw it by hand. especially since these are really just sketches. We're just trying to get, like I said, a refined idea from the original, and it's really kind of a practice as to what you're going to be, what we're trying to draw. Because that's his head, a little bit of his back of his head before we get another person's head right in there. Pull that down where they can see Pat. Pull that down. A sharp into those pencils here. Probably switch pencils. I think this one's a little bit darker than I want it to be. This is a, what is this? A 6? Yeah, it's a 6B. Really prefer to do most of my sketches in HB. Not always, you know. A 2 is good. HB is a little sharper edge to it, just because it's the harder one, and so a lot of times it works better for sketches, you know. But art's so weird, guys. Honestly, it's whatever you feel like. If you feel like you like one better than another, that's what you should go with. That's definitely what you should go with. Like, oh, I like this better than that. Hey, it's Flying Arrow Magnet. It's good to see you, Jared. Are you, sir? Hope all's well in your side of the woods. We don't have all of this guy in picture, so we're gonna have to kind of figure out how he's standing here and what he's doing. Where's his arm going? And alright, so you have this. That would be a torso there. We have another little bit of his arm, some sort of a waist. This again, where that idea of being able to put your rods, your cones, and your spheres together to put together an idea of what this particular person should look like without us having, because all I've got on my photo reference is this part right here. So we got to put these together, which we kind of did. So to speak. He's got some sort of a tank top, shirt. Let that hang down so you can really see the underneath of him. Bring his torso like that. And his arm. Alright. Good. Gonna fish out the rest of this guy. Bring that down a little further. Maybe add a little more too. I said, you're just trying to get some ideas. Now, it doesn't have to look, I mean, you'll have a reference photo or whatever. It doesn't have to look exactly like a reference photo. You can add your own embellishments. You can change some perspectives. You know, we've already done a little bit of that here. I'll make this guy stand a little more. All right. So we made this the captain. Make this the captain's shoulders, like he's walking down the hallway, right? He's coming in. He's coming in to talk to the troops, you know? This guy's standing right here. Okay, so the best thing to do now is to kind of start. Now we've got this all blocked in, right? So the best thing to do here is, hey, doing cooking videos on the other channel. That's awesome. I've been thinking about something like that, but I never really get around to it, I suppose. That's really, this should be the bulkhead. Or one of them anyway. Part of the bulkhead. Again, make sure you're keeping that. If you're keeping all that perspective running right, it all starts kind of coming together. That's called the Wheel of Cookbooks. We spin the wheel and pick the cookbook. That's funny. I love it. People get a hoot out of something like that. So we kind of need to think about like the imaginary line that's running from here to here, right? We're starting to get a real bulkhead in. As well as getting our people blocked in. So all my heads look like aliens at first. I don't know. Maybe I did too much of looking at the, what was the name of that pharaoh that did all elongated heads. They always start out that way. I always fix them later, but they definitely always start off with like weird looking heads like that. I don't know why. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. Sorry, I'm okay. I'm allowed to be a little weird, right? Isn't that what they say? I'm allowed to be a little weird. Definite. We can make definitely you know, one thing that I thought would be cool to do, host cooking courses for people who want to learn, as well as for single dads teaching. That's cool. I get my love for Sean Peel to cook for Pat here, who's still compelled to teach people cooking. Yeah, that's real. I appreciate that though. I'm glad you guys everybody kind of keeps on doing the tradition. That's what it's all about, really. I like that. That one. We might move that one. This bulkhead needs a little bit bigger, I think. Thicker. Like I said, the idea is that my cats are always fighting, right? As you know, because that's, you know, cats, right? They do that. They are always messing with each other. Cats. Um, and so the idea of this comic book, and maybe subsequent, if if I like it and people enjoy it, subsequent comic books would be based on my ridiculous cats and their constant war with each other. And it's going to be different, like, oh, it won't be the same. Won't be the same thing every time, right? Well, that's about right on the money, isn't it? So, like, at one point they might be like this one. They're doing submarines. The next one it might be jungle warfare, and then maybe after that it's tanks, and then it's this never-ending, inexhaustible supply of wild, wacky things where we can do these cats keep fighting each other in their heads. It's this big grand thing that's happening, but in reality, it's just these it's just the two silly ass cats. Yeah, several people called me Sensei for a long time. Some folks still do. Every now and again, I'll get somebody call me up and say Sensei, or they'll message me on the Book of Faces, the Great Book of Faces. And then sometimes it's just a good idea to have these sort of things around. That's way too far back. That might be the wrong size. That might be too big. Maybe I should bring it front at the back. Oof. Everybody be careful out there. Especially you folks up there in the north. It's getting crazy. I haven't seen this kind of talk or felt this kind of energy since the old Rodney King stuff. And if you remember that, then you're probably due for some shots. Your ARP is due, my friend. Oh yeah. That's cool. Terrain files, yeah, terrains are cool. Oh, that's right. You got that filament printer. I remember you saying that. That's right. Yeah. Those are fun. So yeah, filaments are cool. There's lots of things that filament printers can do, and they do pretty all right for terrain. And they do great for, like, if you want to make a tray to put stuff in, man, and make boxes. When we were in the restaurant, we had the torches, the acetylene torches for making. We used them to melt cheese on chick parm, so we didn't have to put them in like a salamander. And but the cylinders roll all over the place, and that goes to where you start damaging cylinders, and then tops, and it just gets that. So we 3D printed a stand for them. They're really cool. Yeah, yeah, tiles and walls would be awesome. Yeah, things are getting. Yeah, Minneapolis is kind of getting a little crazy right now. I just hope people, man. I just wish people would calm down maybe a little bit. It's gotten people get a little bit crazy, and it's I'm not trying to. I'm definitely not one-siding this. There's one side of this that is definitely pushing this further than it needs to go. I just don't know how. I don't know how you get them to stop because they think they're right, and they're just going to keep going until something really bad happens. I don't like that. I got that circle pretty dang close. Pretty good, Pat. Just trying to make sure I got it right. That ain't bad for eyeballing it, y'all. Listen. Look at that. That wasn't bad for eyeballing, huh? That always kind of makes me feel good when I eyeball it and then I find something that's actually round and I put it on there and like, oh man, they're pretty good. Make feel good. Feeling pretty randy there. Man, I'll tell you another thing that's been kind of crazy lately is how much extra air traffic there's been. And a lot of extra air traffic. I don't know if that's good or bad. I would assume bad. So really, very easily, very quickly creating. Oh, wow, I keep getting this thing way out where people can't see what the hell I'm doing. Do old switcheroo again. There we go. It just got to get to where I'm used. I've got to get more open to moving these cameras around, moving my stuff around so people can see what I'm doing better. But you can see how now we're still working off that same point, right? And that same horizon, which is still running right here through the middle, right? And everything's running down to that center. We got our people standing here, chit-chatting and doing whatever they do. lines here. Make sure we know where we are. Start adding in details and stuff. Here, oh, let's add in some different little components there. Again, I know this is gonna end up behind his head, right? So I'm just that's why I haven't really worried about refining any of their looks just yet. I just wanted to block these guys in, so we have an idea where they're gonna be. Because as we go, we're really gonna end up having to draw through where their heads are and that sort of thing, just to get it all blocked out properly. See, now we can make this cable, you know, really looks like it's gonna go through the back of his head that way. And we maintain that whole continuity the whole way through. We know we're pretty right on. We know we're going to be pretty spot on because we drew it through that guy in the first place. Just like that, right? Hey, it was great to see you, man. Appreciate you stopping by. So, like I said, as you kind of work through this, you're just going to kind of keep working. Oh yeah, we're getting close to having to finish up anyway. So you just we're going to keep working on these perspectives. We're going to keep trying to get things set up and make sure that the perspective works for what we're trying to do here. So we may even turn these, we may even start turning some things into pipes and things like that. And like that looks more like a straight bulkhead. You know, and maybe we put in where it is a beam, it's a straight beam that passes right through things. There it does. Remember, find that point. We'll let the shadows really do most of this work in the end. But we need to get those lines in first. Like I said, maybe this is a bulkhead that runs right through. It eliminates the need for some of these things. Like I said, we really need to let the colored shadows kind of play that through, right? Versus a virtual binder line. Into the boom. Bulkhead's running right through. Remove that line. And that line. Okay, we're just kind of eyeballing here. Poor dog, she feels like, I think she sounds like she's gonna die out there. I think she is. Okay, that line. That puts it to where now that's behind it, right? We don't want that line. Few more minutes. I'm sure she can hold on for just a few more minutes. Let me come back in here and get this. We need to shade that box back up. We'll do a little more proper shading for that later. That's a good start, right? Now it looks like it's receded up in the side, up in the top of the submarine. The submarine is just running corridor all the way down. Looking forward to Friday. They're showing the Lord of the Rings extended editions in theaters this weekend for the 25th year. Good golly, 25 years. Man, I'm getting old, man. Getting old, y'all. It's ridiculous. It's pretty cool though. For those of you who don't know, I share a lot of similarities with Lord of the Rings stuff. I have a birthday similar to characters in that book. And get into all that because then you'd know too much about me. We don't need all that. But anyway, Lord, and like, listen, Tolkien kept track of everything. Like, homie knows everybody's birthday. If you were born in his universe, he knows what the birthday is. Most likely, like you're a main character. That you talk about a guy who put together a timeline. That guy put together a timeline. Anywho, yeah, well, enjoy. I hope you enjoyed. That'd be awesome. Love me some Lord of the Rings. We'll be back maybe tomorrow. If not, we'll be back next week for sure. I'm still working on this commission piece, or not commission. I guess I'm contracted. I'm contractual labor, doing on a mission. In the city, trying to fix a gummy machine. It's almost there. I got a few things left to do. So, but I might be on tomorrow. If not, I'm working on that. So if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you next week. Be back on. I'm gonna try to do like Monday, Tuesday. We do the shows, and then it's just kind of getting a little weird. My life is getting a little busier again, and I'm feeling a little better, honestly. Guys, knock on part of the board. Actually, yeah, here's some wood. I'll knock on some wood. I'm feeling better. So that's good. And as I feel better, hopefully I'm doing more like other things like out in the world, and maybe I can even get back into. Maybe I can do a part-time in the kitchen again maybe someday. But right now I'm okay with doing consulting. That's a lot of fun. I like the contractual consulting gigs. It's good. You can just show up whenever the hell you want. So I like that. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Be good to somebody else. Be good to others. Be good to people you don't know. Um, just try to try to spread some good and be careful. Watch your backs. Don't get yourselves in any unnecessary situations. But don't feel like you should ever be silenced. So say what you feel like you need to say, but man, be careful. People crazy out there these days. And hella trigger happy. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Bye.